Travis Barker just acknowledged a brand new tribal chief of his band, Blink-182, and that tribal chief is right in front of you today. He acknowledged Dan Frampton as the primary member of Blink-182 when he acknowledged the new tribal chief, okay? Now I will explain how all of this makes sense in this video. How's it going? My name is Dan Frampton. I am the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper, and as of today, also the tribal chief of Blink-182. Come on in, sit down, get some snacks, kick back a little bit if you want to hear the tale of how Dan Frampton became the tribal chief of Blink-182. Okay, now this all went down yesterday. Now let me explain this a little bit, how the whole tribal chief thing works. Now of course this thing started off in professional wrestling. You got this wrestler, his name is Roman Reigns, okay? Now he went away for a little bit a couple years ago because he had leukemia. But then he came back with a chip on his shoulder. And that chip on his shoulder was the fact that he wanted his family to acknowledge him as the tribal chief of the NOIE Wrestling Dynasty family. Okay, so one by one, he broke them down until they all acknowledged him as the head of the table. Okay, so here, all you need is one person, and it helps if they're the most popular person in the group to acknowledge you, and that's what happened. All right, Blink-182 has the most famous member being Travis Barker, and as you know, I have an enemyship with Travis Barker that goes back millennia. All right, so the fact that he acknowledged me without me having to do a whole bunch of manipulation tells me that this is gonna be easier than I thought. But since all you need is one person to acknowledge you for you to be the thing, you know what I mean? That has already happened. So that makes me, all right, the primary member of Blink-182, the head of the table, the tribal chief. Now, if you want me to break this down even further, you want to see where this acknowledgement ceremony came from? Well, it came from over here at twitter.com, all right? So now I'm going to tell you this story about how I'm getting Blink-182 one by one to kneel down in front of the head of the table over here. And I still need to get Tom and Mark to do the same thing, but that's going to be a whole lot easier and not really a high priority since I already had this happen. So what happened was, yesterday, Travis Barker went onto the old internet, x.com, twitter.whatever, and said, "The tempo for Dance With Me was adjusted a few times until it felt perfect, and I simplified the verse kick drum pattern to really make the song danceable. I also ended up recording the drums 5 different times with 5 different drum kits until I found the perfect drum sound for the song Drum Emoji." Now, wasn't that the best Sniper Wolf impression you've ever seen? A reading word for word of a caption? Well, Travis Barker, I'm doing that right now because this is the instance where you came out and acknowledged me, Dan Frampton. Yes, I'm going to be talking in the third person right now because being the head of the table comes with a lot of ego, all right? And admittedly, it's already getting to my head, which is only a positive thing when you're the head of the table and have a whole lot of manipulation left to do, all right? So as you could probably see here, I commented on this tweet. I'm a bit of a reply guy out there on Twitter these days. Maybe I might go a couple days without tweeting, but I like to tweet. I like to reply sometimes. And this was one of those times that I felt it necessary to reply to a tweet. And by God, I'm glad that I did because this is where the acknowledgement ceremony comes in. I say, "It pains my soul to admit, but you killed it." And I think he did actually kill it. If I didn't think he killed it, believe me, I would relish in the critique of me not liking it, okay? But I think I like it. And there's a lot of chatter online about the aforementioned chorus, okay? A lot of people are not digging those olays. But me, personally, I love a good olay. A good olay can go a long way, all right? And especially today. So I said, it pains my soul to admit, but you killed it. And we're just going to click on that tweet. We're going to view engagement. We're going to go to the likes, and we're going to see that Travis Barker himself liked this tweet. and that is him acknowledging me. He acknowledged the new tribal chief of Blink-182. And the crime of all this is that they're out on tour right now, generating tons of money, and I'm back at Blink-182 HQ earning 0% royalties, 0% commission on everything they're doing out there, and this is awful. This is a tragedy, this is a travesty, this is a crime, this is a crime against humanity, this is a crime against tribal chiefs and the heads of tables everywhere, all right? So I'm sitting here at the head of the table, and I'm watching them over there on tour, generating all this money, out there performing. I'm back here being the tribal chief, and I'm saying right now that they owe me something. At least 50% of everything that's being generated over there, because I am the tribal chief. And I do have a wise man as well, and he's in my ear. He's giving me calls all the time, being like, hey, you know, they just made this much money. They're just doing this right now. And I just can't believe it, all right? So I got to get you guys, the people on the internet, to go to x.com, to go to twitter.com, to go to instagram.com, all right? And you sound off and you let them know that it's not fair what they're doing to their tribal chief, okay? The head of the table is sitting there in his broke-ass apartment and his own band, all right? His own band is out there earning all this money. So if you're wondering, yes, I am officially in Blink-182 right now, and anytime that they put out something, I'm going to champion it because I want my band to succeed, okay? I will be referring to Blink-182 as like my band, and I'll be saying we and our and stuff like that. Those will be the words I use to describe our endeavors from now on. You know what I mean? Because I have been acknowledged, all right? Now, all I need is the lesser two members of the band to come over, kneel in front of the chief, and be like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. They're gonna put the flowers around my neck, you know what I mean? They're gonna give me all sorts of gifts and treasures and that kind of thing, and it's gonna be a good time for everybody involved. And maybe if they're smart, they're going to do this quickly so I don't have to do a whole lot of evil manipulation. You know what I mean? And I'm not above it. That's what comes with the territory. When you're the tribal chief, when you're the head of the table of anything, you got to be prepared to emotionally abuse those around you. And believe me, I'm ready to do so to the members of my band, Blink-182. Okay, so you guys have a job to do. You're going to get out there to Twitter. You're going to tell them to acknowledge the newest head of the table, and it's going to be a wonderful time. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked, comment, or subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Leave a couple stacks of pancakes down there in the comments if you don't have anything nice to say. You can also start or engage with the conversation. How about that? But until my next upload, watch these other uploads. Okay, see you later. Tribal Chief out.